Mike Moore Media.
I'm talking to Kathleen Patterson, new town manager in Mayodan. Hey, Kathleen, how are you?
Hey, Mike, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing just great. Well, before we get into maybe last night's meeting and some other things, I'd like to get a little background on you. Maybe tell us, who is Kathleen Patterson? Maybe your education, where you're from, things like that.
Okay, well, I am an Army brat, so I grew up in the military. My dad was in the Army, and we moved all over the place. So I was born in Arizona. I moved down from North Carolina from Maryland. I came down here to go to school at UNCG, and so I went for my master's degree in public administration at UNCG, and that's how I ended up in North Carolina.
Well, I know you came to Mayodan from the town of Elon. So what did you do there?
So in the town of Elon, I was their downtown development administrator in their PIO. So I did all of stuff for downtown. So I got us to Main Street. So we became a Main Street community in 2018, which was a 2-year process for me from 2016. And then we maintained that, I think, up until recently. And then they, I think they fell out of it right after I left. But so that was one of the big things that we achieved there, but then also just getting their down kind of moving along. So they have a very small downtown, but it is vibrant, and they've got a lot of restaurants, and having that business support, a little bit of the economic development moment for the town was something new. So I hope I left them in good shape. I think I did. And
I'm sure you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're so happy to have you in Mayodan. So welcome.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
What are some things maybe that attracted you to come to Mayodan?
I have actually always been a fan of Rockingham County. So I love the feel of Rockingham County. It is very personable, and the people that I've met here have always been very friendly. And I was just excited to be able to come to Rockingham and be a part of that friendliness and that kind of feeling that I love. My family, even though my immediate family, we moved around all the time, most of my family is from West Virginia, so it felt a little bit like home. And I was looking for that, and Mayodan's a great town, and I thought this is a good opportunity, so I put my hat in the ring.
Yeah, great. All right. Well, again, we're glad you're here. You presided over your first meeting last night, and that seemed to go well. And I want to say, this is great. Let's talk about this. That $1 million grant, state grant, to clean up that Washington Mills property. That's been a long time, and where it is now, and so that's good news.
That is very good news for the town, I think, for everybody, really. And we have it, and so the first part of that scope of work for that grant, we're actually going to clean up the piles that everybody sees when they come down across the bridge. They see all the piles. So that will help us clean up the piles. We're still waiting for the EPA to finish their investigation on the site. So we're not going to move any dirt. We're just moving the piles out and getting rid of those. And then if there's any money left, we're going to fix up that lovely building that's sitting right there next to the road, repair the roof on it and stabilize it, and then hopefully, if there's enough, get it back to where we could actually use it and it'd be functional. And then I always have plans for more. So even if we can get that far, then we'll look at kind of redesigning it, the area for a low-impact park.
So, great. Okay.
Yeah, long-term plan there.
Well, as you said, the building there on the road, so we've still got a little bit of that property left and some potential there, it sounds like, for sure.
Yeah, I think we haven't really discussed what we think could go in there, but I mean, once we fix it up, who knows? An indoor farmers market. It could also have some artwork on the side. It'd be a great place for a mural. There's lots of potential there.
Yeah. Okay. Chickens on the agenda last night. Several people spoke about having chickens in the town limits, and looks like that's going to be continued to next month's meeting, looking at maybe updating that ordinance, perhaps.
Yes. So right now we do not allow chickens in Mayodan. So we had a complaint, and this is part of the dealing with that complaint. And hopefully we can bring chickens back to Mayodan. I think that will be something that, done right and with some parameters set in place, that could be something that would be beneficial for our citizens to be allowed to do, especially given the times with the amount of money that we're spending in the grocery store and everywhere else. It can be a help, hopefully.
Yeah, nothing like fresh eggs, right from
exactly.
right from the chicken there in the backyard. Yeah, and another topic, looking at the times on Sunday when alcoholic beverages can be sold in businesses in the town too. Seemed like there was maybe a little inconsistency there with some of the laws or whatever.
Yes, so our current law is from 1975, and it is still valid. So the town itself, we don't allow the sale of alcohol until 1 p.m. on Sundays, until 2 a.m. on Monday. So, and I think that there's been some. You heard Chief Caruso speak a little bit last night, and so we have some that sell at 10, some that sell at noon, and at the state level, those are both correct times. So, but currently in town, we're not supposed to sell until 1. So hopefully we're just kind of looking at that to see if we want to, get everybody in compliance and have them at noon or have them at 10, which is the brunch bill from 2017. Just kind of to clean that up so that there's nobody breaking the law that they don't really know that they're breaking the law.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, and a good report from Public Works Department last night on those fire hydrants.
Yes, indeed. They're moving along with that project, and that's wonderful. And in the process, we're hopefully going to be able to do some more this next budget cycle as well to finish that up and get some of our much more elderly fire hydrants, we'll put it that way, out of service and put some new ones in place. And that will just benefit everyone and benefit our fire department.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And, you mentioned a piece of equipment last night, and I didn't even put it down in my notes. What was that?
The Knuckle boom truck.
Knuckle boom truck. Okay.
So the Knuckle boom truck is, if I've got my terms right, and I'm actually going to look that up so I don't lie to you.
Okay.
It is like a grapple truck, and it'll help us with being able to move some garbage, move some heavy objects.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you the ability to do a lot of things that for Public Works, it's helpful to have that type of equipment. Right now, we borrow it or we rent it, so it'll be a good service for the town.
Yeah, good Public Works Department for the town of Mayodan.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a new member of the board sworn in last night. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Buck Shelton was brought up as the once. Let me back up and get my words right. So when Councilmember Allred chose to resign, the board got together and talked about who they would like to, ask to serve and to serve out his term. And Mr. Buck Shelton, that was the name that was raised, and they all unanimously agreed and voted him in and invited him to come on to the board, and he graciously accepted. It's, as you know, it's a position that is sometimes, not appreciated, but we do appreciate our elected officials, and we thank them for their time and all the work that they do. So we're excited to have him on board and look forward to working with him.
Sure, yeah, okay. Well, the board now full, and a mailman there, Michael A. Buck Shelton Jr., his official name,
Yes.
and longtime mailman there in Mayodan, and lots of folks follow his drone videos on Buck's World. So that's kind of neat, too. Yeah, okay. So you've got a built-in drone person now on the board, so that might be very helpful.
I can see where I'm going to be asking for some help there. We've got lots of opportunities to market Mayodan, and he can help us out with some drone footage.
Yeah.
I think that would be wonderful.
I think he's the man now, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And number of committee appointments last night, too. So that was good, get those positions filled.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And we also provided some information for our newer town councilmen so they kind of understand what those committees are and what they're supposed to do. So we'll look forward to working with all of those members as well.
Sure. Okay. All righty. Well, that pretty much covers the meeting last night. And some things I wanted to talk about. Anything else we should mention before we finish up today, Kathleen?
Well, I will say keep an eye on our downtown. The Merchants Association is going to have some things start happening in April on First Fridays. And then also Ferris Memorial Park. We've got some bike races that are upcoming in April and May, so keep an eye out, and we'll hopefully have some information on the town's Facebook page and other Facebook pages in and around town. So, and
Yeah.
hope to see everybody there.
Yeah, well, there was a mention last night about Ferris Memorial Park and getting those shelters booked. And you mentioned that bike race. That's something that's really taken off in the last couple of years, isn't it?
It seems to have been. I've not been here to see it, so this will be my first year, and I'm really excited to see what is happening with that, and just how many people it brings to the park and brings to the town, and actually brings to Rockingham County. What a great thing to have here. It'll be fantastic to see it.
Yeah, making Mayodan a destination on that for sure. Okay, Kathleen, it's great to talk to you. Our first podcast together. Look forward to many more.
I hope so.
Okay, all the best again, and in your new position there as town manager. Have a great week. We'll talk next month.
You too. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks. Bye. All right, Kathleen Patterson, the new town manager in Mayodan. She's off to a great start. And let me remind you, if you're new to the area, you can get acclimated right there on the website, townofmayodan.com, and their Facebook page, the Town of Mayodan, NC. Our program is sponsored by JDK Automotive, locally owned and operated. They've been in business since 1963. The folks there at JDK Automotive, David Vaden and his team, do all kinds of general automotive work, tune-ups, oil changes, make sure brakes, most major work, and make sure as the temps warm up that your air conditioning system in your vehicle is operating properly. You can depend on them at JDK Automotive. They're on North Highway Street. They're open from 7:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. They do take an hour lunch break at 12:30. And then right downtown Mayodan, we have our friend Nadine Cobb at Nadine Cobb Accounting and Tax. She's at 103 North 2nd Avenue. And in fact, she's working on our taxes right now, personally, and for business, for our business. She has a full-service accounting firm. She is very knowledgeable, has a lot of experience in this, and she can help you too as an individual or your business. You can go to her website and get more information there, incobtax.com, incobtax.com. And I remind you, Kathleen mentioned the merchants in Mayodan a little bit ago, but I remind you to shop locally, support our Mayodan businesses. It's a win-win for everyone when you do that. Support our hometown businesses. Shop in Mayodan. We appreciate that.